This is a preview of the latest episode of Gators Breakdown. Link to the full episode is in the description.
We'd like to have 4, maybe even 5 scholarship quarterbacks. With this short and long term, how does that change? Is there a sense of urgency to get someone in soon, or what's the plan of attack?
Yeah, no, we definitely will be in the market in the spring. There'll be, I think if presents an opportunity, there's a player that passes evaluation, we certainly would be in the market for another player there.
What we're looking for, Will, here is, maybe anticipating getting another player here the May 1st through May 15th transfer portal window. There's another 2-week window that will come in May after all these schools out there have played in their spring games. You're going to have some guys, and probably some highly ranked guys, that think they're going to have a better shot, maybe can go win a job in the spring, not win that job. So I'm eager to see, Will, the quality that is out there. Napier says they got to pass an evaluation, but I'm really eager to see the quality of player at the quarterback position that is going to be available after the month and a half that spring practice is going to be all around the country.
I think a lot of it's going to have to do with the evaluation of the quarterbacks on the roster during spring practice. I think if they look at it and go, oh, crap, they'll go out and they'll grab somebody who we all are, potentially grab someone who we're all like, yeah, that's kind of underwhelming, but okay, that tells us something about the quarterback room. If they're comfortable with the guys that they've got, if Max Brown takes a step forward, if Miller takes a step forward to where he's a solid backup to Mertz, then okay, you're not going to go out and go after a guy who's highly touted. Now, I think it's good that he's out there saying we're going to have an opening, because that's sort of telling the whole public, right? That's telling anybody who's in a quarterback battle, hey, think about reaching out to us if your battle's not going in the direction you want, and we'll tell you whether you got a spot and that sort of stuff, right? So I think in some ways the messaging there is right, because you're a lot, let's say that a guy like Grayson McCall after spring practice decided he wanted to transfer. That's a guy you go, okay, yeah, assuming he qualifies and assuming he meets your evals and all that sort of stuff, that's a guy with a profile that we would all get very, very excited about. So, whether or not McCall is a guy who will be available, I have no idea. But if guys of his ilk are available, yeah, absolutely, you're going to kick the tires on that, right? And, a few years ago when Joe Burrow lost the job to Dwayne Haskins, he ends up transferring. Obviously turned out very well for LSU and turned out well for Ohio State too. Haskins ends up as a first-round draft pick, and Ohio State had a really, really good year. So those guys are going to be available. And, I think that's one of the benefits to bring in a guy like Mertz, is that, one, he's not going to be threatened. And two, I don't know that he's good enough to go just immediately transfer in the spring if he doesn't like his situation. You get the one transfer without any sort of penalty. And so you can't, Mertz isn't going to be able to leave. So you'll have a guy who's a backup for a year, even if you bring in somebody better. People who get upset that a guy like Graham Mertz is the starter of the room, I get it. Because you look at his profile and you go, really? That's what we're sticking with. And it's interesting because Napier says he wants 5 guys in the quarterback room. His entire roster plan got upended with Rashada leaving. We can talk about strategically whether there were things he could have done to set that stuff up better. But once you get a guy's commitment and once he signs his letter of intent, your plan is in place. And now you got to adjust to your plan. So to sit there and look at the quarterback room and go, well, he wants 5 and he's only got 3. Well, he was supposed to have 4. And, so that might have changed the plan as well. So it doesn't surprise me that he's saying, hey, we're open for business, because they were expecting to have an extra body in there, and they just don't have it right now. And they're going to have to make an adjustment.
All right. So something to look out for as we go through spring, and then after spring, May 1st through May 15th, that second portal window there for the Gators. So something to keep an eye on, maybe some other positions as well, but definitely after speaking with Billy Napier today, quarterback, another quarterback may be on the horizon.
Want more Gators Breakdown? Join Gators Breakdown Plus. Starting at $3 a month, get access to unique episodes, plus a blog, chat room, giveaways, shout-outs, and more. Gators Breakdown Plus is furthering the interaction with fans and listeners like you. Head to gatorsbreakdown.supportingcast.fm to join Gators Breakdown Plus today.